After watching this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, I gotta ask myself, does Gohan have his man card or does he not have his man card? Like, should we take that shit away from him or should he keep it? That's what I want to know. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty cool that he turned down that big opportunity with the head of that school and shit like that just so that he could spend more time with Pan. You know, he'd be away from home a long time if he actually took that opportunity. But on the other side of the spectrum, while Gohan turned down this opportunity to spend time with his family, you gotta ask the question, like, is it even a good thing that he's spending more time with his family? Because what this episode screams to me is, when Gohan's not in the picture, motherfuckers learn how to fly. And no lie, this episode was fantastic. Like, I really love the feel that Dragon Ball Super gave with this week's episode. It was hilarious. It gave you like a slice of life vibe, but it's also kind of sad in the sense that it shows you or exposes how much Gohan has been emasculated. And this is what I mean. Pan was calling Goku her father. This is not fucking Pan's father. I know you like Goku, I know Goku's a G, I know Goku acts how a Saiyan should act, and that's a very appealing element to Pan, who is a little girl, and she looks at him for masculinity. There's nothing about Gohan that screams masculinity, so that's why she mistook Goku for her father, right? It was ultimately because of Goku's dumb ass that Pan was lost. But what happened when Pan was lost? She learned how to fly in freaking space. Granted, you could throw Pilaf into the mix, contributing to Pan's ultimate growth by the end of this week's episode, but it was really Goku, right? She was just shitting inside of the machine, she was just making everything go out of control, but when she heard Goku's voice, when she heard Goku, pretty much she ended up learning how to fly. What does she learn under Gohan's wing? Absolutely nothing. And I don't want to go on a Gohan rant this week because motherfuckers has been doing that every single time Gohan is actually inside of the episode and he's vital character. But you can't be blaming your day one, you know what I mean? You can't be blaming Double 4 Anime. You gotta blame Akira Toriyama. At the end of the day, here's the problem. Obviously, Gohan would be more about education. I mean, his mother is Chi-Chi. We can go on a long rant about how it's Chi-Chi's fault, and it's partially her fault. I mean, Gohan was under her wing for the longest time. You know, she raised these two, Gohan and Goten, and when she was talking about the funding, the money behind the education, she also referred to Goten's future education and the money behind that, and I'm like, yo, make Goten broke. Put Goten on a farm, Goku. Get Goten far the fuck away from Chi-Chi, because the minute you got some money behind Chi-Chi, she's gonna ruin the life of a Saiyan. Yes, she's going to turn Goten into Gohan, and we do not need another Gohan. We can go on and on about how Chi-Chi ruined Gohan, but then again, it's a loop, because then you're gonna have to start to blame Goku, because Goku enables his wife to do the things that she does. Yes, you can say Chi-Chi, you know, fucking drives Goku around, but if Goku wanted to put it to Chi-Chi, he could. I mean, just take Piccolo, the Namekian, who's responsible for Pan half the fucking time, and he was telling Chi-Chi straight up, like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta make the meal like this, you gotta raise her like that. And of course, Chi-Chi is not Pan's mother, Chi-Chi's the grandmother of Pan, but at the end of the day, look at how she responded to Piccolo. She wasn't on her bitch fit, she wasn't telling Piccolo to get the fuck out of the house, she wasn't making him ride the tractor around the farm or doing extra farm work or whatever, trying to make some extra money. And like, Goku should be rich as fuck by now. Like, all of the human beings on the planet Earth should do socialism for fucking Goku. Like, they should give him, like, I don't know, $1 each every single month, and he'd have like $1 million every month collectively from all the people, because how many times has Goku saved the Earth? I still can't get over the fact that Goku's fucking poor and he gotta do all this shit, but actually, it's a good thing that Goku does not have money, because then he would enable Chi-Chi to ruin Goten by giving her money, and then that money would be spent on education. And we know education ruins Saiyans. You know, education's good for humans, it's not good for Saiyans. Point is, Chi-Chi was on her best behavior when Piccolo was dropping knowledge regarding Pan, and boy, was he bothering the living fuck out of those two, specifically Chi-Chi, because I think that Piccolo knows how Chi-Chi treats fucking Goku, so he wanted to give Chi-Chi a taste of her own responsibility medicine. And keep in mind, they ended up losing Pan, right? So not very responsible. So there's a lot of blame to go around. You could blame Chi-Chi, you could blame Goku for enabling Chi-Chi. Though what's not up for debate is Gohan's here where he is today, and I don't know whether or not we should take his man card away, but I will say this, I don't know if it's a good thing that he returned to his family, because him returning to his family means that education's gonna be given to a Saiyan. Regardless, it's a 1/4 Saiyan, it's not a half Saiyan, it's not a full Saiyan. Pan was calling Goku her father, and it's understandable, you know, she's more enthusiastic around Goku. Goku offered to fly her around, but he couldn't because apparently his body is like fucked up from using Kaioken ×10 during during the fight against Hit. We find out that he's sick at the beginning of this week's episode. There's like something wrong with his body. It's actually that he can't really control his energy. His ki is delayed. We find out from the Kai. The Kai really over-exaggerated this shit though. Like he's telling him like if he doesn't take it easy, if he doesn't relax, like he always tells Goku this. So I don't believe anything he fucking says. But apparently because he used Kaioken and he's like overused his body, if he continues overusing his body and taking it to the limit, he's going to lose his ability to fight. Let's really be honest. All of us have the security of Goku's survival and his growth in the series. Ain't nobody scared that Goku's going to die. Ain't nobody scared that Goku's going to lose his abilities. And ain't nobody scared that Goku's not going to grow anymore. Because with the introduction of the fucking Dragon Balls, with Beerus, with the king of all the universes, Goku's got a place to go eventually. Like, we saw Super Shenron. Super Shenron is on some other shit. Regardless, Goku wanted to fly Pan around. You want to know what Gohan would have told Pan? Pan, go play with your mom. You know, go listen to your mom or some shit. The most he'd do is lift her up. Because if he did anything other than lift her up, you'd have Videl complaining. Like, oh my god, you know, what are you doing? You can potentially hurt her. So you could call Goku a dumbass if you want. He's partially responsible for Pan getting lost. Pan ended up with Pilaf and his crew. They were inside of that pod. They went up into fucking space. And if it weren't for her, they would have all died, right? Which shows you that it's stressful situations which forces Saiyans to grow. Granted, she's only 1/4, so it's not like she's fully Saiyan, but she's still got some of that blood coursing through her veins. So stress does help her, right? Which means that Goku was treating her like a Saiyan, and Gohan and Videl weren't treating her like a Saiyan. Because in one episode under Goku's wing, she learns how to fucking fly, and she saves Pilaf's crew. Granted, I wouldn't save Pilaf's crew. I would just, like, let him fucking die in space. Motherfuckers is the Team Rocket of the Dragon Ball franchise, and she, like, took a shit inside of the pod. It smelled really nasty in there. She was annoying them. She caused them to, like, lose control of the thing. And I thought that was really funny. Granted, it would have been pretty messed up if, you know, she left Pilaf's fucking crew to die in space. But I don't know, I'd argue that'd be one of the greatest gains of this Dragon Ball Super episode. I mean, it'd make up for the fact that Gohan is actually returning to his family to raise his family. What a freaking spectacular episode of Super. It had me dying all the way through. I love the scene where Goku ended up in Bulma's place, and you had Vegeta there just, like, really fucking red at the fact that Goku's like, you know, why would I want to see your saggy ass tits? I was like, damn. Because Goku had to answer to Bulma, like, why are you here right now? You're invading on my privacy. And Vegeta stepped in really quickly. You know, if this was Vegeta back during the Saiyan arc, he would have not been this tame. But then when Goku followed up with that wittiness, like the saggy tits, I was like, I'm done, man. Goku, you are the star of this week's episode, and boy, you've been the star of this series so far. Like, fuck Vegeta, Team Goku all day.